Slimehouse TV, myself Theo Kane, welcome back to Toy Talk Tuesday. Hope everybody is good and hold tight to Slime Alliance if you're watching this 2 weeks in advance before anybody else who can watch it on YouTube. Just know I'm going to talk about this again at the end of the video, but I've got a new tier on my Patreon called Slime Alliance where you get to watch these videos 2 weeks in advance. So if that's you and you're watching this 2 weeks in advance, just know that I appreciate you. Big ups, respect. So in today's episode, we're going to be talking about scalping. So what is scalping, you may ask? Well, I'll get into it properly later, but scalping is not something that I have too much experience with, and the reason is because I mostly collect vintage toys. But recently, I did have some experience where I had to avoid something getting scalped that I wanted, so I'm going to talk about that first in this video, and then I'll talk about how that plays into scalping in general. So recently I picked up a Lego tall neck from the game Horizon Forbidden West. I don't really collect Lego, I don't really buy new toys. Not that I don't like Lego and I don't like new toys, I just can't afford to buy everything. My spending has to be exclusively vintage unless there's something that really stands out to me. And this thing was something that really stood out to me, I couldn't say no to it. And when I looked at it online, when I first saw it, I really wanted it, but there was no pre-orders. So the only way I would get one is if I went into a shop and got one on the day of release, because it was a super limited run. I couldn't just like pick it up as and whenever I fancied one like you can with some new toys. This was something that I really had to be there first day, first come, first serve kind of basis. There was no pre-order on it. Normally scalping and pre-ordering and all that kind of thing isn't something that I have to worry about. It's not something that's really part of my side of the toy collecting world. And also it's probably for the best because I don't like pre-ordering and things like that. I'm too much of an impatient bastard. In fact, I pre-ordered something last year, like 9 months ago, and I'm still waiting for it to come out. That's not good to someone like me that wants to get it there and then when he sees it. And so before I get into my experience recently of avoiding something getting scalped before I could go and buy it, I'm going to tell you a little bit about what scalping is. So what a scalper would do is this is somebody that goes to a shop on a day that something's getting released, an exclusive run. They would go really early in the morning and they would buy 20 items off the shelf, all the same thing, all that are an exclusive limited run. They would take them home and then they'd put them on eBay and sell them for 2, 3, 4, 5 times the price, depending on how sought after they were. Now, this is not something that is exclusive to the toy world. This happens so much with PS5s. Whenever a PS5 gets announced that it's for sale, you'll get scalpers that go and buy 2, 3, 4, 5 and then sell them for more money. It's very big in the trainer/sneaker community. You get people who queue up early and buy loads of one trainer that's really exclusive and then put them online and sell them for a much higher price. And this is what a scalper would do. So a scalper would go and buy multiples to sell to make money. Now, don't get these confused with somebody that might go early in the morning and buy 2 of something. Maybe they want one for their friend and one for themselves. That's not a scalper. Also, I don't really think it's a scalper if you're going to buy 2 and sell one for a bit more to make the one that you've bought not cost as much money. That's not as bad. It's still kind of scalping, but it's not as bad. A scalper would be someone who does it on a mass scale, buys lots and sells lots. And it means that the people that want one that was in the queue behind him, or the people that can't, or her, or the people that can't get there first thing in the morning, miss out, and the only way that they can get one is by paying through the nose online. And the only other experience that I've had personally with wanting something in advance and then not being able to get it because of this kind of activity, scalping and that kind of thing, is a few years ago, Reebok released what I believe are the greatest trainers of all time. Now, you might not have ever seen this because it depends how much attention you pay to what I'm wearing, but I'm 99.9.9% always in high tops. They're the only trainers that I fucks with. I love high tops. The more retro looking, the better. The bigger, the chunkier, the funkier, the better. And a few years ago, Reebok released my favourite trainers that are in anything ever. They're the ones that Ripley wears in Aliens. They're called the Bug Stompers. She wears these really high, chunky Reeboks that they're a fantasy. They don't really exist. They existed in that movie only. She wears them when she's in the power loader and stuff. They're what she wears in the movie. And you could never buy these. And then a few years ago, Reebok announced that they were going to make them. And they looked awesome. They were super high. They did a low tier version. I weren't bothered about them. I wanted the proper high ones that Ripley wears in the movie. And they were released in a really cool box and things like that. There was a couple of £100, so I saved up money so that I could get them. I waited for the release date. I woke up at night at like 4 a.m. in the morning and I sat waiting for the countdown clock, and I'd been having these in my mind for months that I wanted this pair of trainers. They're the ultimate pair of trainers that I could ever want. I'm sat there waiting with the money ready and the countdown clock was going 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Soon as it hit 0, I clicked add to basket, boom, all gone. All taken by sniper bots. And I'm like, fuck. So I went to another website. Gone. Everything gone. Completely gone. Every single one of them that was for sale online were gone in seconds. And I don't know how they got there so quick. It must have been some kind of sniper bot software, but they were all gone. Super limited edition run. I went on eBay within the next 10 minutes, within the next hour. People were putting them up for 5, 6, 7 times the price. Thousands of pounds they were putting them up for on eBay. So I missed out. So when it comes to this kind of thing that you can't put a pre-order on and you can only be there in the moment to buy it, I don't really like doing it. And this is not something that I have too much experience with because I mostly collect vintage stuff, but every now and again there's a new thing that I want, and they were a prime example of something that I really wanted. I had the money, I wanted to buy them, but they got scalped. What made it even more annoying is that so many people that bought them to display. I remember I was watching some toy hunting video recently, and the guys on it spoke to someone who had a pair of them here in England, and he had them on display, and he'd never opened them, he just put them on a shelf, and they were in the video saying, oh yeah, they're really cool, they're a really nice display piece, but you'd never wear them. I'm thinking, fuck yeah, I would wear them. I'd wear the shit out of them. I'd wear them every fucking day until they fall off my feet. I definitely wouldn't have had them on a shelf collecting dust. So people like me that wanted to fucking wear that shit couldn't because they got scalped and then sold to collectors who put them on a shelf and put them in a fucking glass box and never fucking wear them. Bullshit, man. I would have wore the shit out of them. And it still pains me to this day that I can't get a pair. I wouldn't even care if they were fake ones. I'm not even bothered if they were fakes. I just wanted a pair, and you can never get them because they were super limited run and they got scalped. Now, like I said, scalping and things that are sought after isn't a rare thing. The movie Jingle All the Way was based on toys that come out at Christmas and are really sought after, so it's really hard to get one. And I remember when I was a kid, my mom wanted to get my sister a Furby when Furbies came out in like the early 2000s, the interactive Furby toy. They were really sought after. You couldn't get one anywhere. They were like rocking or shit, as my dad would say. Trying to get one of them was so hard. My mum had to go like 4 hours early and queue up at a toy shop in town to guarantee that she could get one. And in that queue, I remember there was somebody that she knew that also bought one, and a few days later he was in the paper because he'd sold it for like 7 grand for a fucking Furby because they were that sought after at the time. Back in the late 80s, early 90s, parents were rioting to get their kids Cabbage Patch dolls. They were punching each other up and ragging them out of kids' hands because they were that sought after. So, things that are sought after, things that are exclusive limited runs and things like that, or things that are just in high demand have always been a part of the toy and the collecting community. But what a scalper does in particular is buys lots of them, gets there early, buys lots of them so that no one else can buy one, and then puts them online or sells them however and makes money on them. And that's what scalping is. So recently I had to avoid something getting scalped that I wanted, and it was this Lego tall neck. And although this tall neck wasn't as in demand as some things like those Reebok trainers that I missed out on, it was still something that was a limited run and you couldn't go online and just pre-order one. Like I said, I had the money ready, I'd have just bought it already. I couldn't, I had to be there early in the morning and pick one up somehow. I wasn't going to try and do the midnight launch thing because I tried that with the Reeboks and I missed out. I wasn't going to wait until midnight to try and get one online. Also, I didn't want to go online and then buy one and say that I'd won it and then for whatever reason get an email saying, oh, unfortunately, we don't have enough stock and we can't send you one. Didn't want to risk that. So I phoned the Lego store. I thought we're better to get one than the actual Lego store. And I said, I really want this Horizon Forbidden West tall neck Lego play set. And the dude says, how much do you know about like Lego, like release days and things like that? And I goes, not a lot, to be honest. I don't fucks with Lego like that. I just want this one particular set. And he said, okay, well, on the day of a release, there's always a big queue outside our shop. So you have to be there when we open. And they open at like 10 o'clock or something. So I goes, all right, well, I'll get there for 10. He goes, no, if you get there for 10, you'll miss out. You've got to get there before. So Meadowall opens at 8 o'clock. So I'm thinking, okay, you can get there for 8 o'clock, go straight to the Lego store and then wait. And I said, how many are you actually getting? And he says, we're getting a handful. We're not getting that many. It'll be double figures, but double figures as in like 11. So I could be the 5th in the queue, but there could be a guy in front of me that buys all 11. I don't know if there was any rules to how many you can sell. I don't think there is. They will just sell it to whoever wants it. If a guy goes in and gets 11 and buys 11, then I'm going to miss out. So automatically I'm getting like annoyed, like, yo, I just want to buy this thing. Like, I don't want to have to deal with people scalping and stuff like that. So I'm thinking, okay, that's one option. I can go to the Lego store. And then near my house is a Smyths store. So I went to Smyths. I just called in and I said, are you going to get this new Lego playset? Bear in mind, I'd been to some other toy shops. They weren't getting it. They goes, we'll get it at some point later on if there's any left, but Smyths is a place that will have it day one. So I goes, okay. So I went to Smyths and I asked Smyths and I said, I'm after this Lego playset. Are you going to get it? They goes, oh yeah, actually, came in today. This was 3 days before it was going to be released on the shelves. Hang on, I'll see if we've got them in now for you to look at. Went in the back and he pulled it out and I saw it in front of him. And now we're like, okay, can I not put my name on it? He goes, I can put your name on it, and even though I'm saying there's no pre-orders, it might have still been pre-ordered online. The computer says that it's not, but there might still be. Sometimes there has been pre-orders on them, and I can't check on the computer. The only way you will know is on Sunday morning, on May the 1st at 10 a.m. That's the only time you'll know if they've been pre-ordered or not. So I'm looking at the thing, but I can't buy it there and then. And I understand it wasn't released that day, but I couldn't even put a pre-order on it. So he said, I can put your name on it, and if nobody's pre-ordered it before Sunday morning, then you can have it. So I'm thinking, okay. So my girl Rox went to the Lego store. My boy Malik drove her. She waited there early, a few hours early, and got ready. And when she got there was already a queue. And I went early to the Smyths store to try and get that one with my name on it before anybody else pre-ordered it. And like I said, we did a bit of vlogging that morning, just some simple vlogging on my phone and that kind of thing. But this helps tell the story of that morning a little bit better, of how hard it was for me to get one and how I ended up getting one in the end.
8:35 in the morning, just on the way to Meadow Hall with Malik. We're going to try and get the tool neck for Theo. Theo, we go. We're getting there. There's Meadow Hall, so we'll be there in a few minutes. It is 8:47, so we're making good time. It opens at 9 o'clock. Made it to the Meadow Hall. Right, let's see if they have this fucking tool neck.
So today is May the 1st, and today is a very special day. I've been counting the days to this day. Today is the release date of the Horizon Forbidden West tall neck Lego set. Now, I don't usually fucks with Lego like that. I'm not a big Lego guy, but when it comes to Horizon and Aloy, Bayloy, as I like to call her, I have to get involved. Last night, all the ones that were available on Lego.com and on eBay and stuff, all sold straight away. So it's a really sought after piece. And I've been going around a few toy stores this week and just saying, are you going to get the Horizon Lego setting? And they're all like, yeah, and I really want it, or no, but I really want it. Everybody seems to want this thing. Maybe there's lots and lots of people that love Horizon Forbidden West and Horizon Forbidden Zero Dawn as much as I do. I'm heading down now to Smyths, which is a toy store not from the area that I'm from, and I went in a couple of days ago and put my name down on one and reserved it, but they did say if there was pre-orders on this set, then my reservation would be null. It wouldn't mean anything because people had already pre-ordered one. So this could go either way. I could go down there and there's one with my name on it and I can just get it, no problem. Or it's been pre-ordered and I'll have to go on eBay and buy one for like 120 quid, which I'm not doing because someone's put it up like way more expensive than it is. So I've got a little fail-safe in place. Currently at Meadow Hall in Sheffield, Rox is there waiting outside the Lego store. It doesn't open for 2 hours, but she's waiting there in the queue and she's first in the queue. Another funny thing is, while Rox was at Meadow Hall, she were doing a bit of vlogging like this so we could cut back and forth and document the journey. And the staff at Meadow Hall told her that not only is she not allowed to vlog, she's also not allowed to take photographs. How crazy is that? You are not allowed to take photographs in Meadow Hall in the year 2022, a public place. And if she continues to do so, she will be removed from Meadow Hall. So I said, look, put your phone away, don't take no pictures, don't jeopardise our place in that queue. Don't jeopardise the future of the Horizon Forbidden West tall neck Lego set. And she's just going to wait it out, although my shop opens an hour before hers, so I'll know within the next half an hour if I've got one or not, at which point she can abandon her mission and we'll have got one anyway. But if something's gone wrong and the one that I've reserved has no longer got my name on it, I'm going to have to get in an Uber to Meadow Hall and wait it out with Rox and hopefully get one there. But I really want this set, so we just hope that the toy gods are shining upon me this morning. Pray for me, yo. So this is the moment of truth. There's only me here, which is really good, because I was worrying that there were going to be a queue of people like there is at Meadow Hall. So I just called Rox and there's like a big queue of people at Meadow Hall waiting because it's May the 1st and there's loads of Star Wars dropping and stuff today. But luckily I'm the only one here, so I'll know within the next 5 minutes if I've got one. Ugh, I hate this shit. I'm not filming you, love, don't worry.
So on our way back now with Malik, unfortunately I didn't get it, but I've had good news from Theo, video evidence that he does have it. Still a bit annoyed that I didn't get to video the experience. There were some really interesting people there who were obviously definitely in the line for collecting some Lego that day. but it's whatever. They were really cool, so I enjoyed my day out. Mission accomplished.
So as you can see, luckily there, I did get one, but it wasn't easy. And I had to wait outside and hope that when they opened the door and I went to the desk, they said that I put my name on was available and nobody had pre-ordered it, and thankfully it was. But as soon as I picked that up, somebody behind me walked up and goes, "Oh nice, I'm here for one of them." And then another guy that worked there was also getting one, and they only had 3 in the store. So within minutes, there was not even minutes, seconds, they were all gone. So if I'd have not gone early and queued up and been the first there and put my name on it and done all that pitting about, I'd have never got one. And where Rox was in Meadowhall, there was a big queue of people that wanted it, and she talked to a couple of the guys and they were all there wanting them and wanting Star Wars, because Star Wars was also dropping that day. So yeah man, this Lego is not an easy thing to get when you're really into it. It's something that you really have to go out your way, go above and beyond if you want to get that shit on release day. So all in all, it was a nice, successful mission. I was like getting flashbacks of me losing out on those Reebok trainers, that we wasn't going to get this, I wasn't going to be able to get it. But luckily, by being tactical with it and going to 2 different stores, which is crazy really that we had to do that to get this thing, we managed to secure one. And maybe there was some available online after and stuff like that. Somebody said that Game had some, the Game Shop had some randomly and things. But again, I didn't want to buy one and then get an email saying, although you bought it and it looked like you'd got one, you actually didn't, because we sold them all, because it was that exclusive and that sought after. Now, I don't, like I said, I don't fucks with Lego, so I don't know if when Lego release something, it's that rare that 6 months down the line, again, they release it again. I just didn't want to risk it. I really wanted this thing, so I had to go above and beyond and out of my way to get it. So shouts to Malik and shouts to Rox for helping me secure that thing, because it wasn't easy to get. But that's my experience with scalping so far, with scalping and avoiding scalping and fucking about with pre-orders and all this kind of thing. And it just makes me think, why don't these companies make more? Now, it might answer itself. It might be like the companies don't really know how well they're going to do, so they just do an exclusive run, or the deal that they make with the company, the brand, the license, whether that be Aliens or PlayStation with Horizon Forbidden West, only allows them to make a certain amount, or I don't know. Maybe you know, let me know in the comments below, but it almost seems that like if they did this thing as a pre-order, they would know how many they're going to get. I don't care if there's a pre-order that went up now and it said in 4 years time you will get a pair of Reeboks. We need to do pre-orders, we've got to do all the factory schematics and all this kind of thing and make them all, but you will get one if you pre-order now. It's weird that they do such limited runs of these things, because they obviously sell and they make no money off reselling and scalping online and all that kind of thing. So it pains me that they don't make more, that we have to go out our way to do this kind of thing. And there might be people that collect trainers and exclusive runs that have thousands at times, 1,000 times more experience with this stuff than me, but I've had 2 little experiences with it, and that's stressful and annoying enough, because you just want to buy this shit when it's available. We're not on this earth very long. I don't want to spend that time trying to fucking sit up all night to get a pair of trainers that I might never own when I'm happy to pay for them. So I hope you think that I covered scalping okay in this video. Like I said, it's not something that I have that much experience with, but it's something that a lot of people, when I put the Toy Talk suggestions to them, like what we're going to talk about on the next episode, this always comes up, scalping and the problem with it. So if you've got any experience with scalping, good or bad, I would love to know and hear your stories in the comments below. Let me know if you've ever avoided scalping and had to do a mission like what me, Rox and Malik did that morning, and you was successful, or if you wasn't successful, and how that made you feel, and if you had to go out your way to seek it out elsewhere. Either way, I hope you enjoyed this video today, and like I said at the start of this video, I have a new tier now on my Patreon called the Slime Alliance. So you could be watching this video 2 weeks in advance, or you'll be watching it now and it's already been out on my Patreon for 2 weeks and you didn't even know. But if you head over to patreon.com/SlimeHouseTV, for as little as $1 a month, you can become a slime renegade, and you don't get any benefits for that. You just support my channel and you just help me make this channel bigger and better than ever, and I fucking love you for it, and it's so helpful. But if you want to go a little bit more, you can do the £5 tier, become part of the Slime Alliance, and you get access to these videos 2 weeks in advance. So if this isn't enough Toy Talk for you and you want a little bit more, head over to the Patreon and get involved with the Slime Alliance. I'm also on Instagram if you want to hit me up in the DMs on Instagram. That's at Theo_Kane_Slimehouse. Also follow me on there. I'm also always putting exclusive content over on my Instagram, stuff that I don't drop on YouTube, pictures and stories and stuff like that, and channel updates I often put on the Instagram. So follow me on there if you fucks with that as well. In the meantime, I hope you enjoyed this video today. If you did, I've got a whole back catalogue of content and videos and documentaries and channel chats and video essays and all that stuff. So if it's your first time visiting this channel, I'm Theo Kane, this is Slimehouse TV, and you've got a whole back catalogue to enjoy of this kind of cool content. In the meantime, I'm Theo Kane. I'll catch you in the next video. Until then, I'm gone. Pow!